There's a silver lining in the sky. Bonsoir, oh thing, cheerio, chim chim, na, hoo, toodaloo, goodbye.
For baby, cradle and all. Now it's Albert's choice. Your favourite story, the one about the Knights and the Dragon? Very well. Once upon a time, an angry dragon attacked a small town in a faraway land. Word of the dragon's attack reached the king. Yes, Walter, I suppose he would have been like King Arthur. The king summoned his advisors, who in turn summoned the mayors of all the towns. And he told them if they could not stop the creature, it would come for them next. Thousands of men took up arms, and a huge army was formed. It included everyone from the wealthiest landowners to the poorest gamekeepers who looked after the land. That's right, Albert, just like father. The king wanted to honour the men's bravery, so he made them knights of the realm, and all the leaders promised that no matter what happened, the brave crusaders would never be forgotten. As the army of knights neared the dragon's lair, the creature breathed out a river of flame. Instantly, all the knights were killed. When news of the tragedy reached home, the leaders remembered their promise. They ordered the creation of large wooden plaques with golden writing for each town to honour the fallen. Huge processions were held, and the rolls of honour were unveiled at special services. Oh, but when the memorials were revealed, many of the town's widows simply couldn't believe their eyes. So many names were missing. So many...
It's Mrs. Knapp, isn't it?
Reverend Buller, sir. Is there news? Will you add my frank?
As I have previously explained, it is not my decision. There is a committee and a protocol. Anyway, this is neither the time nor the place.
But it's in your church.
My child, I am expecting a great many people here in the next hour. Kindly lower your voice, conclude your prayer, and go on your way for today.
Well, I can't leave my boys. They're just so demanding, never a moment's peace.
That may be. You are clearly devoted to them, but some quiet prayer at home will help nourish your soul. Good day to you.
Oh, I can't go there. It's the only makes their cough worse. Reverend, I've examined the roll of honour. With a steady hand, his name would fit below Woodward. Private Frank Knapp, Royal West Kent Regiment. That's all I'm asking.
Mrs. Knapp, I appreciate your losses were greater than most, but we cannot just add another name.
Please, for my boys.
There's a cost. It would be unfair. I'm sorry for your losses. So often it is the women folk who bear the greatest burden of war. It is their tenderness and care that we rely on to prepare our knights for battle.
Knights, yes.
And yet, it is our women who must live with the consequences. But I'm afraid adding another name at this time is, well, quite out of the question. So please, let this matter rest, and we can both be on our way.
You have to.
I assure you, I do not.
Well, couldn't you at least mention it at the service, Frank Albert Knapp, Royal West Kent Regiment?
Mrs. Knapp, the roll of honour and today's memorial service are for the honourable men of this town, the brave killed in the war.
And my husband was killed in the Somme.
But he was a conscript, Mrs. Knapp.
Who died at the hands of the Hun, just like many of the men on your roll of honour.
Mr. Knapp only joined the colours when the law compelled him to.
He died fighting for his king and country.
He had no choice. I have tried to be kind to you. I really have. The fact is, your husband was a malingerer.
No!
He shirked his duty and ignored God's call to arms.
That's not true.
Your husband enjoyed the fripperies of home life for 2 years, while his Christian brothers, who freely lay down their lives, were slaughtered and maimed. Stanley Adams, fine young fellow, married too, sang in my choir every Sunday without fail. The moment he heard the Germans weren't playing fair, he went into khaki. Killed last September. Now that's the sort of plucky chap people want to remember.
You can't pick and choose who to remember.
Your objection is noted.
Annie! Oh, begging you pardon, sir. Do forgive my sister. She's had a ghastly time of late.
Yes, of course. My condolences to you and your family. I strongly suggest you escort your sister home. Perhaps help her find some comfort in the Bible. Good day to you.
Thank you, of course.
I won't let you forget it.
Annie! He's very busy. Today of all days. Now, please come along. You heard what he said. Besides, we need to talk.
Frank didn't deserve to be remembered because he was a conscript. That's what he said.
I'm sure he didn't. Well, if he did then, I'm sure that's not what he meant.
If Frank's not on the memorial, there's no record of him. It's like he never existed, like none of us ever existed.
Frank and the boys are in heaven. And you spend so much attention to their graves and at memorial. They wouldn't want you to be like this. Now come along.
I see him, Grace. He's disappointed in me. Don't let me be forgotten. The last words he wrote to me. He knew this would happen. It was amongst his papers they returned. I let him down. I lost his sons.
You did your best. Whooping cough took them.
Believe me, after today's service, they will all know who Private Frank Knapp was. I won't allow them to forget what he did.
What? Oh, please calm down. I know what you're going through. I do. Months passed before I accepted that Mr. Fremantle wasn't coming home. But Annie, grieving is something best done in private with dignity and decorum. I found Paul's letters to the Corinthians particularly comforting. Oh, you'll get into serious trouble. And
I told you we would find her in the churchyard, but you said no. Let's split up. We'll find her quicker. My feet ache. I walked the entire length of Weybridge, spoken to 100 people or so, and now I think I've got a blister. And it's all thanks to you.
it's a placard. She's being impossible. Did you put her up to this?
Did Grace tell you the good news?
Alice, no.
I found work for you.
We found work.
Work?
Mrs. Brooks agreed to take you on. It's a large house, Balfour Road.
What? Why?
Oh, Auntie dear.
3 meals a day, guaranteed warmth. You can only dream about in your damp little cottage.
No, whatever possessed you?
I prayed and the Lord delivered. It's a splendid opportunity.
You think I can just turn my back on who I am, a mother and a wife, and devote my life to servicing someone else's family? I can't. I won't.
Well then, you end up in the workhouse. Is that what you want?
remember Frank now.
Give it back!
Annie, this is...
No! You know why I need to do this, don't you? All along they promised our men honour and glory for joining the fight. Even the rector described them as knights. But there must be thousands of men, just like my Frank, who denied the honour and glory they deserve. They want to forget them. They want to write them out of history.
That's awful.
Alice.
But Grace is right, Annie. I think you know that. You take that in there and gossip's going to spread like wildfire. Your reputation will be tarnished. But take Grace's advice, accept Mrs. Brooks' offer. You can rebuild your life again. Make Frank and the boys proud of you. Who knows what this job might bring? One day, we might even be able to vote. The men are finally learning that they have to listen to us.
The rector certainly heard you.
Without something visible, solid, permanent, how can I fulfill Frank's final request?
Through your survival, in your future. You are the greatest memorial to Frank and the boys. Your stories, the ones you tell, the ones retold, no one can ever erase those.
Really?
Yes. In a century from now, people are going to look at that placard and just see a long list of, well, faceless names. Men who lived and died many years ago. But stories last. Mark my words, 100 years from now, people will know, and they will never forget, the story of Walter, Frank, Albert, and Alice.
For once, our younger sister speaks sense.
It's your choice.
Come along then.
You two go on without me. There's someone I want to speak to whilst I'm in town.
The Army and the Navy need attention. The outlook isn't healthy, you'll admit. But I have a perfect dream of a new recruiting scheme which I think is absolutely it. If only other girls would do as I do, I believe that we could manage it alone. But I turn all suitors from me but the sailor and the Tommy. I've an army